5 men. From the youngest to the oldest, a 45-year difference.
It's back and forth.
Still more in common than not.
And I come with layers.
Because of what they've lived.
That I really saw the ugliness of what was happening between races as we started having force busing here.
Sometimes it feels like you're fighting a losing battle.
Felt.
I'm talking to my 15-year-old son about the fact that you need to be very careful.
And seen.
What I need y'all to do right now is come up with a better way.
We just need to talk, let them know, like, why do you feel that way about me?
Tonight, a perspective that may be new to you. A conversation that will open eyes.
You got your right voice when you talk, and it almost becomes a second nature thing.
And help us to face racial issues pulling us apart.
Why does it have to be so divisive?
I'm like, all right, so what can you do to better on this world that we live in?
Now, talking about race, a conversation with 5 black men. Leading the conversation, Channel 9's Ken Lemon.
Good evening from Charlotte's Community Matters Cafe. This is a safe zone for 5 men who agreed to open up to us and to you. And it is your safe zone. As you watch, we hope you will share in the discussion, add your experiences and your thoughts on social media using the hashtag #TalkingAboutRace. Hopefully, what we learn here will offer clarity and understanding that will bring us all a little closer. They are black men with different backgrounds and different points of view, but all concerned about the present and the future.
It's good and evil. You know, we are really at a tipping point in America.
And that's scary.
They are keenly aware of headline-grabbing stories of black people, mostly men, having police called on them for doing everyday things. And even more troubling, black men deemed suspects and killed.
No justice! No peace!
It spawned protests, a movement here and across the world. But these men worry that little has changed. They say they still feel like they're living on edge.
I feel like at no point I was allowed to slip up.
I think it puts us as black men to have to always be at a place of, I guess, defense.
I'm afraid, man, because I think I've got really educated white friends that just don't see it. They don't understand that the devaluation of life. They don't understand that a group of people are being looked at as less than. They don't understand the Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor. They don't, like, you tell them, like, these aren't stories we're making up. They're real. George Floyd, it was on national television, a murder. And somebody says, well, I heard he had a fake $20 bill in his wallet. What? So that's where we are.
John McCullough experienced plenty of firsthand racism growing up in the 60s in West Charlotte. He's been a senior pastor at Friendship Christian Church in Gastonia for more than 30 years. At 62, he's a senior member of our panel. He says he's doing everything he can to ensure a better future for his children and grandchildren. Rashawn Miller grew up in rural Bertie County, North Carolina. He attended UNC Chapel Hill on an academic scholarship and played football. It was during those years he struggled the most, even attempting suicide. Now he's 34, a licensed professional counselor, and runs his own mental health nonprofit. Also a graduate at UNC Chapel Hill, Leighton Harris spent 25 years in the tech industry, the past 10 as a regional vice president.
Let's just all plan to get on.
But he's often the only black executive in the room. And as a 46-year-old father of 2, he says he's profoundly concerned about the racism that he and his family still face. Cal Johnson grew up in New Orleans and wanted to be a chef since he was a kid. But black role models were hard to find.
I got breakfast bowl with turkey sauce.
Now 23, he's a chef at Charlotte's Community Matters Cafe. He takes his leadership role very seriously and wants to make it easier for other young black men to follow in his footsteps. Ramon Curry is the youngest member of our panel and the young man in this video, which went viral during last summer's protests. A 17-year-old at Julius Chambers High School, he's juggling remote learning and a growing need to have his voice heard. A one-word answer from your perspective to the world, what it means to be a black man.
What it means to be a black man, my word would be enriched.
To be a leader,
I would say overcomer.
For me, what it means to be a black man is to be responsible.